Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Around the Blockchain here on BitBoy Crypto. Very excited. We got a great show for you planned. Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything's having a lot of fun this week. So I hope you are too. Hope you had a great weekend. We come to you every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. We made it right on time. Thank you for turning the music down just a little bit, BJ. It was a little loud. But we are doing good. Like I said, we got a great show for you today. We got some great guests. We've got Joe Parys. Now, his YouTube channel is getting dangerously close to 200,000 subscribers, so make sure you check him out. We got John Vibes. John is one of the writers here at BitBoy Crypto and an NFT expert. We also have Tom Crown. Now, Tom Crown just put out a video about altcoin gains for this week, so you're going to want to check it out, and it happens to be one of the first things we're going to talk about tonight. And last but not least, it is Stash. And I just found out he sold his Pokemon collection twice.
You're wrong. It's magic cards, you stupid. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Weak.
Close. You're not nerdy enough, bro. I know you're trying to get with the nerd vibe with the rest of us here.
No, man, I can't nerd with you guys. Like, I just can't nerd like that. That's just impossible. Anyway, yeah, I biffed that one. Jeez Louise. Anyway, we got a great show for you tonight. If it's your first time watching Around the Blockchain, you'll notice everybody's got a little score down in the bottom of their box. If you're in the live chat, make sure you hit a +1. If you like what they're saying, we'll give them some points. And at the end of the show, whoever's got the most points is going to leave us with some little bit of parting words. Before we get into the show, we're also going to feature like a new beginning of the show today. So typically what we do is we run through 3 segments. We're going to change that up. We're going to do 2 question and kind of go through like what we normally do, but we're going to start the show out with a lightning round, and we will get to that shortly. What you're going to talk about today is a Bitcoin and ETH weekend pump. And then Maxie's chime in on the Elon stock tweet. All right, I want to get into the show, but before we do that, let's just check some market watch really quick. Let's see. We got the global crypto market cap at 2.8 trillion, a 3.88% increase over yesterday. If you like crypto and you've been following along, Bitcoin had a fantastic weekend. Yesterday was a very nice day to see us get back closer to that all-time high. Hopefully it'll happen in the next 24 hours or so. We got ETH coming in at 4,700, a little bit over. We want to see that thing get to 5K soon. I know it's got the legs to do it. We all have been waiting for it, and let's see what happens there. Binance Coin having a really good week as well, up 18.73%. Solana in the number 4 spot. Let's see. Let's check some of the big gainers. Oh, wow. Loopring up almost 60%, 24 hours. KuCoin shares, now KuCoin token, 19.45%. Basic attention token, almost 18%. Litecoin, big day for Litecoin, 11.5%. Do we want to talk about losers? Let's just see who the biggest loser is. Cardano. And then Axie Infinity. Interesting. Anyway, we don't like to spend too much time on the losers. Oh, this is Around the Blockchain. We're going to have a good show today. All right. Before we get in, let's make sure if you are watching this, you like the video. If you're in the live chat, pop out just real quick, hop back in, hit that like. Also, go down in the description and like all of the content and channels. Subscribe to these guys because they are working hard for you to bring you the best information in this crypto space. All right. Let's get into the lightning round for today. This is something a little bit different. We've not done this before, so we'll see how it goes. If we need to use the timer, we can. It's a 10-second timer. But really, what I want to know, and what the folks at home want to know is, what are your top 2 altcoin picks to pump this week? Joe Parys, let's start with you, bud.
Ruthless Jay, thank you again so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to go real quick here. Honestly, I think XRP, number 1. I know that there's a lot of controversy still, but that one to me, the top 10 altcoins has the most upside potential to run. So I'm looking at XRP, and I made a video about this and a bunch of other altcoins. So if people are interested, definitely check it out. But I just bought personally $30,000 worth of XRP, full transparency, and I just wanted to get that out there. Number 2 is going to be one that comes out on Wednesday. It's actually a brand new cryptocurrency. It is called Pulse Pad. Now, Pulse Pad is going to be an incubator or launch pad for the Pulse Chain network, which hasn't even launched yet either. And so a lot of speculation, a lot of hype. I could see this one doing some very big multiples if you're able to get into the public sale. So those are my 2 rapid fire altcoins for you, and excited to see what everybody else has to say.
Joe Parys, I love it. I love it, my man. All right, John Vibes, we are just going to go down the line, so you can take it away for the number 2 spot here. What are your top 2 altcoins for this week?
All right, so first I would say Loopring, which is one of the biggest risers today, you just said, but there's actually a specific reason for that. There have been a whole bunch of rumors that I think are fairly substantial that they're going to be releasing an NFT project with GameStop, and apparently some kind of news is coming about that in the next couple days. So if that happens, that's going to be massive. Another one is Luxo, or LYXE, because I think it's like an underlooked metaverse play right now. I sold all of mine when it was low to buy a bunch of illiquid JPEGs. So I'm probably going to see it pump like crazy and miss out, but it is what it is. So those would be my 2 picks.
They always pump when you sell them. Always. That's just the name of the game. All right, Tom, what you got for us?
Whew, man, a week. What is going to be up in a week? That's a hard question. I'm going to go with my favorite, my bread and butter. Litecoin's having a strong day today. It's at macro resistance. Just need to see a move hold above 227. So I'll go with Litecoin. What am I going to take for number 2? Man, this market is hot and cold right now. I think BAT has some upside potential. Not exactly my favorite coin. I featured it today in my video as well. I'll just go with BAT, basic attention token.
There we go. I wish more people use the Brave browser. I say that. I don't even use it myself. I had higher expectations, but I should. Maybe I'll get into it.
It's the best browser. The coin, well, you can say whatever. The browser, it's an amazing browser.
Okay. I like that they block all that stuff for you. All right, Stash, what are your 2?
2 top picks for this week. So I'm going to go. So first one, I'm going to go with the one that's super underrated right now, and that is the Immutable X token, IMX. The token just launched not too long ago. This is the platform token for the Immutable X platform. And I mean, Immutable X, man, they've done a great job with really launching their product and being what I consider really the #1 scaling solution for Ethereum out there. I really think they're going to overtake Polygon, and they have tons of massive projects coming to Immutable X. Everybody I've been talking to in the NFT space on Ethereum is saying, we're going with Immutable X. They just launched TikTok NFTs. That was huge. And they got, like I said, a bunch of other really successful NFT projects on top of the fact that lots of gaming projects want to use them as well. So IMX is my first pick. And right now it's a really good buying opportunity because it had some FOMO when it first launched. And it's kind of settling out right now, which is great. In this type of market, so there's going to be a lot of room for growth. Number 2 is Theta. Theta Network has been one of my long-term holds. Love being on Theta TV, which is a part of the Theta project as well. And right now, Theta is up a little bit, but the thing is that we're seeing many coins in the top 25 or 50 approaching some pretty big all-time highs. Theta is still about 50% down from their all-time high of $14. I think it's about $7.50 right now. So they're about 50% down from that all-time high. There's a lot of room for growth there. They can hit that number again, especially in this type of bull market. So I think those numbers are coming pretty big here and pretty quickly for Theta.
Well, I have to say you did impress me with your ability to extend a lightning round, but great picks nonetheless. I wrote down a couple.
That was fast, man. That was fast for me. What are you talking about? I know the information quickly and concisely, and bam! I should have 3 points. What's going on here, guys? Come on.
Well,
damn it.
Everybody only got 1 point for all their picks, but let me tell you what. I did write some down.
That's not how it should go. You should get.
I'll give everyone else a
point. Pick a crappy coin like Ripple.
XRP. BJ, put Stash at 0. All right, let's get into the topics for today. Yeah. The first topic we're going to talk about today is Bitcoin and Ethereum mixing it up over the weekend. Now, Bitcoin tested 67K, which is the recent all-time high, and then ETH hit a new all-time high of 47.95. ETH is continuously stair-stepping dramatically, while Bitcoin will pump and then become stagnant. Stash, nice point total there. What caused the move on Sunday?
To be perfectly honest, I have no idea. Nobody knows, man. Nobody really honestly knows what the hell causes moves like this. I mean, on the weekend, I will say that, I feel like there's more retail investors that are focusing on some of these things on the weekend. They have a little more time. They're hanging around. It's Sunday. You're sitting around with maybe you're reading a newspaper still. I don't know, man. But you're sitting around and you got your coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I'm sitting in front of my screen and you're looking at charts, looking at numbers, or maybe you're on the shitter. I like to do that sometimes too, man. I pull up my phone while I'm sitting there taking a crap in the morning on Sundays, just relaxing, dude. You know, that's a new form right there, right? Versus like having a magazine in the bathroom. You got your like you're looking at the charts, going through, scrolling, and buying things on your mobile app, right? I mean, how many people here are using a mobile exchange or mobile DEX at this point? I think a lot of people, man. And so those buys are made at locations like that. It's kind of funny as it may sound. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not really sure what caused that pump, not actual pump, but I mean, you know, I would say that is a good time for retail investors to be looking at this. And you know, we've had a little bit of a down trim from an all-time high, and I think it's time to get back up to some new ATHs.
I love that. I would absolutely agree with you. Some of my best thinking and some of my best crypto buying and trading from the throne.
It is true. How many people here, if you on this panel, raise your hand if you've ever bought crypto while you were on the toilet on a mobile app?
Absolutely.
I know. Come on, Joe. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I'm honest guy. Honestly, I have never done that. And you know, not to
I don't trade
interject here, but I do think that why the price is actually pumped up on the weekend, as I think some whales actually ended up buying. And typically when whales end up buying, especially for Ethereum and Bitcoin, that's kind of when like the market actually moves, because you really need a lot of money to do it. And a lot of like trading doesn't really happen on the weekends typically. And so I thought I read somewhere that a couple whales definitely moved the price up a little bit. So I don't know if they took profits from other coins that have been pumping, but that was just what I heard.
But like retail whales, right? We're not talking about like institutions or hedge funds or larger, you know, type of companies. We're talking about more like individuals, right?
Correct. Yes.
Well, someone bought. The price went up, right? I think we might be able to throw some quantifiable stuff at it. We're seeing Bitcoin leave exchanges. You know, at a huge pace. That's been a trend that's been going on now for a while. I think that's a reason. Taproot upgrade is getting closer, and we're heading towards the end of the year. And historically, Q4 has tended to be the large, volatile quarter in the year. Yeah. So, I mean, why is the question everyone wants to know? But there's never a real answer. You know, it's someone bought, someone sold.
Definitely a speculation question. Tom, I will follow with what you just said with another question then. Now, do you think, and you just said, you know, as we get to the end of the year, typically we see, you know, in a bull market, the end of the year is hot, especially November going into December. And that's like right where we are. Do you think that we're going to see a lengthened cycle, or do you think that it's going to be like huge parabolic moves in like the next months? And then, you know, as we know, at the end of the year, it'll shut down. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's a really popular thought, the lengthening of cycles. I think that there's definitely sound logic behind it. You know, the very first cycle of Bitcoin is very quick. I think I agree with BitBoy who's not here. So I think it is tied to the halving. So I'm not sold on the lengthening cycle theory. We haven't seen it necessarily yet. If it comes, I'll accept it and I'll improvise. But at this point, I'm saying just stick to what we know, stick to what we've seen until proven otherwise. That's a lot of my analysis.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stick to what you know. John, in thinking about all these things and, you know, watching the market caps and everything grow, do you think this cycle, or is it next cycle that we'll see Ethereum flip Bitcoin?
Well, I hope it's this cycle, because I think it would be a lot healthier for the market overall, because you have all these applications and stuff built on top of Ethereum, and I think it makes it a little bit different as far as a bear market is concerned, especially when we're looking at what we went through in 2017. A lot of what happened there is like Bitcoin was not ready for the masses, and there wasn't really anything going on Ethereum except for CryptoKitties. So, you know, people overall lost all faith. You know, they thought it was going to zero and they just piled out of it. And now we're kind of in a different situation where there are all these things that people can do, and like people's identities and their lives and things are wrapped up in people that aren't even working in crypto, like with NFTs and things like that and games. I don't think gaming is going through a bear market. And if we are going to be going into this play to earn model, sure, there's going to be rises and falls and valuations, but I just don't think that we're going to be sitting there for a year or two wondering if this industry has failed, which happened in the last bear market. I don't think we're going to see a bear market like that again. But yeah, and the response to the cycles, I think we might be seeing shortening cycles, and that might sound crazy, but like I think we're going to be going through shorter bull and bear markets.
I agree with you. And like one of the things that I personally, and you know, everybody's kind of got their own opinions and you formulate your own speculations on some things. But you know, with the bear market, I don't know if we'll see another 80 to 90% drop. You know, I think that there's too much money in it. There's too much institutional money. Now, obviously, a lot of these institutions, you know, they've got shareholders or people that they're responsible and need to get money back to them. I just don't know if we're going to see that as significant of a drop as we've seen in the past. I hope we don't. But I kind of also hope that we do, so that if you're in a position to do a nice big scoop, you can, you know, double or triple your stack. So I guess we'll just kind of see where all that goes. Joe, talking about all this again. We're staying on the same subject, obviously. But would you think that lowering the gas fees for Ethereum and with the burn rate that they're experiencing, that it is going to that could be the cause for a new parabolic pump for Ethereum later this year?
Well, I think the gas fees are obviously not very favorable, especially for the average retail user. I was thinking about making a transaction literally just a few hours ago, and it was like $80. And I was just like, you got to be kidding me. This is just no fun. And so I didn't make the transaction, like honestly. Yeah. And like I have, you know, I'm fortunate and blessed enough to have the money to actually make that transaction. But I'm sitting here like, no, I just won't do it. There's something about me that just will not do it. And so I think that Ethereum is just going to run its own race. I think that people are still going to buy it, and they're still going to continue to keep holding on to it. I think that Ethereum, being the #2 cryptocurrency right now, is not going anywhere. And I truly do believe that $5,000 is just around the corner. But Ethereum is one of those that like kind of just slowly makes its way up, and then all of a sudden, bam, right? So we saw this earlier in the year where Ethereum was kind of crawling. It took forever. I know Ben was always talking about by Valentine's Day, ETH was gonna make a certain price, right? And it didn't take till Easter, right? And then all of a sudden ETH woke up and was at 43, 4,400 before we knew it, and it kind of got everybody by surprise. And so I like Ethereum. I definitely think that even with the fees and everything that's happening, people are still going to buy it. The institutions are here for it. And, there's so much bullishness around just the entire ecosystem and now the burning that's happening. Yes, I'm definitely bullish on Ethereum. But yeah, I mean, as soon as ETH 2.0 rolls out, and obviously the gas fees, hopefully those continue to trend lower. But again, if you're brand new to this, just understand what you're getting into. And there are other options as well if you're looking to make some of these transactions.
Absolutely. I think if ETH doesn't solve the ETH transaction fee and the gas fee soon, that may be bad news for it. Almost a nail in the coffin, if you will. So we'll hopefully that'll all change, and obviously, but as the price goes up and you get more people interacting, I think the network clogs itself and makes the fees go even higher. I've said this before on the show. I think for our fantasy football team, for the office here, it was like a $20 buy-in or whatever it was. But for me to move that $20, it was a $50 fee. It just didn't even make sense. So anyway, all right,
it's really unfortunate.
Let's get on to the next topic. Before we do that, if you haven't done so already, please like this video. Exit out of the chat if you're in it. Just hit like and then come right back. We promise we'll be here when you get back. Let's see. It looks like we've got 5,100 viewers with less than 1,000 likes. Come on, these guys are working hard for you. Get them a little BitSquad love. All right, next topic, we are going to be talking about the Bitcoin maxis want Elon to sell Tesla stock and buy Bitcoin. Of course they do. Elon tweeted a poll asking Twitter if he should sell off 10% of his Tesla stock. This comes in response to Janet Yellen and others in the government talking about taxing unrealized gains, which that makes zero sense. Let's see. Joe, we'll start you off with this one. Do you think that Elon would really sell if the poll stays where it's at?
Yeah, so I did some research into this, and I think he has to for tax reasons, right? Like he has a really pretty massive tax bill, and so you don't want to be messing around with not paying your taxes, right? And so for anybody that's watching us here in crypto and anything, please make sure to take care of your taxes and consult a professional on those. But no, I definitely do think that he's going to. He put a poll out there. It's over 57%, I think, at the time that we're watching this, and he's going to follow through with it. The price has definitely gone down a little bit. What he decides to do is completely up to him. But yeah, I think we'd all like to see anyone buy more Bitcoin. And I know Elon has an interesting name here on this channel. I know that not everyone is necessarily a fan, but he does hold a significant amount of Bitcoin. And overall, I definitely do think that anyone who's looking into Bitcoin and for any reason, you're definitely on the right track. So that's kind of my take as to what's happening with Elon and what's going to be happening with Tesla.
Absolutely. Tom, now, do you think that if him selling off and he's vocal about it and transparent in the public, sells off 10% of his Tesla stock, could that crash that market?
I mean, we've seen Elon Musk mess with markets before. I remember maybe a few years ago, I think he tweeted like short Tesla, like just weird stuff. I've been the biggest fan of Elon. I've been not the biggest fan of Elon. He's fallen somewhere in the middle for me now. I totally believe he'll go through with it. It does not strike me as a thing that he's not going to follow through with. It had a lot of votes. He put it out there publicly. So I think he'll follow through with it. I am about as close to a maximalist as you can get while still having other coins. And I don't have high hopes that he's going to take that money and put it into Bitcoin. I think that's maybe getting our hopes up a little quick. I think what Joe said is probably on point there. It's more likely related to taxes. As much as I would love for him to just throw all that money in Bitcoin, I'm not going to hold my breath. Could it spark a sell-off in Tesla? Sure. I mean, he holds a large percent of it. That if he market orders it, I'm not exactly sure how billionaires and their giant hordes of money even are able to exit like that. But I know they have to disclose it, so maybe that's part of it. Don't get your hopes up with that Elon Musk selling going into a coin. I think that the odds of that are very low.
Yeah, that was doing that with the profits, getting into Bitcoin was pretty much the next thing I was going to come up with. So Stash, I'm going to come to you on this question. Max Kaiser and Bitcoin pseudo Maxi Michael Saylor chimed in and said that Elon should be buying Bitcoin with his Tesla profits. Now, Stash, you think these guys are making sound arguments? Well, I'll let you answer that first, and then I'll follow it up.
I mean, I think it's a sound argument, if he's going to sell. I think this is just a little bit more of Elon having a little bit more fun with his social media. The basis for this tweet was that there's all, Yellen and a bunch of other people are calling for taxation on unrealized gains. That would mean that people who hold stocks and crypto and assets like houses and things that have appreciated significantly, they're going to have to pay tax on that every year for holding it without selling it. Now, this is even though they're talking about it now, it's not something that's going to happen anytime soon. So, do I really feel like this is really rooted in like something that's going to be immediate? I don't. Do I think it's great advice to diversify and take a certain percentage if you're not already holding a position in Bitcoin to diversify and do something like that? Yes, I do. And I think that more CEOs and large, corporate players, like individuals, right, should be looking at doing something like that. I mean, even if you're not a large, individual, like large, wealth, wise, you should be looking at doing that. I think that it makes a ton of sense. So I think it's solid advice no matter who you are. I don't think it's advice that Elon would ever take just because I think he's trolling once again.
So, okay. So the follow-up question on that is, do you think that they were suggesting that he buys the Bitcoin in order to pump their bags and chase some clout?
I mean, of course, once again, if Elon's posting this tweet for clout, like I think he's doing just another, he's taking advantage of something that's going on that is wide sweeping and that he can, get some more points for, right? I mean, I don't know that he's actually going to do this. And then you got some clout chasers who are like, they see that he's doing this and they want to jump on that boat too. They're bandwagoning. They're like, hey, you know what? Well, let me put my 2 cents out here and so I can jump aboard this, because it just gives you as kind of a online influencer or personality another like thing to just talk about and be quoted on, just like what we're doing here right now. This was their master plan. It was to get us to talk about this on Around the Blockchain. They were successful. You guys are all plebes. Let's go back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, we did get the call earlier from Kaiser from Kaiser's
They
people.
called it in. They're like, all right, guys.
We need you guys to talk about this. Tom, I'll ask you the next question. Now, say for whatever reason, Elon sells his Tesla and he wants to wrap his profits into crypto. Bitcoin aside, what would be the most beneficial project for him to inject a bunch of money into for the space, the ecosystem as a whole?
Well, I think at his size, really, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be your only options. Just pure liquidity. If he were to take that money and throw it into whatever your favorite coin is out there, unfortunately, you can't throw billions into something, with a $1 billion market cap. You're going to end up with slippage. For the really big investors, the only way they're getting in or out if they want direct exposure to coins is Bitcoin and Ethereum. As much as I love some other stuff, it just doesn't have the liquidity. So I think what maybe would make the most sense is, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum, but then taking smaller amounts and creating small positions, which is actually kind of what we preach on our channel anyway, when it comes to investing to diversify. He's going to have to really strategically do that. It's not going to be something like you and I can do where we just go market order in. I think BTC and Ethereum are really the only answers.
Could you imagine the fees on a $1 billion market order? That'd be insane. That would be crazy.
I mean, I guess you could do it OTC anyway. It's always a weird question when it comes to really big money, because they're playing by different rules. We don't have to worry about the same things.
I was gonna say, to jump in there real quick, Michael Saylor, the way he did this was he did do something like that. It wasn't one big order, but he essentially, did, I think it was like an algorithm where he bought, all this Bitcoin over a certain amount of time, systematically, right? And you would think like, why shouldn't you be going OTC? But I mean, maybe that there's a play in there too. But you're right, like doing like one big fat market order would be kind of interesting to see what happens. $1 billion.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, I think we'd all be going crazy. John, I'm gonna bring this question to you now, sir. Everything that we're talking about here with Elon Musk, with Max Kaiser, Michael Saylor, everybody talking about Bitcoin, selling off, getting crypto going, is this all playing into the narrative from the SEC that crypto is just a big game and it's planned to wreck the small investor?
Yeah, I think that they really don't help a whole lot with a lot of this, for sure, because usually those kind of figures are what draw attention to the space. Like we saw with when Zuckerberg got into crypto, then that was when the Congress started freaking out about stable coins and everything. And I'm sure that they will have their eye on the metaverse now too, because of what he's doing. And so like all these people that are in the public eye, they're playing this game where they're trying to get as much attention as possible. And in order to do that, they need to push the envelope and do things like this. And that ends up kind of, just creating this disastrous situation for everybody else, because now when Gary Gensler, has his next, attack on crypto, he's going to put issues like this on his list of complaints or his list of evidence, for things that we're doing wrong. And these people aren't even really technically a part of our space. Of course, Max Kaiser and Michael Saylor are, but I wouldn't really consider Elon Musk to be. And the fact that they're trying to get him back involved, even more so after what happened a couple months ago, is like kind of crazy. Like they must have really short memories, because I think they were the ones who were on stage at that Bitcoin conference saying, like, having very harsh words for him that I'm probably not allowed to say on the channel,
Let's go. I mean, don't swear, but what were they talking about?
Well, they were chanting. They didn't Max Kaiser and Michael Saylor start the F Elon chat or the F Elon chant at the Bitcoin 2021 in Miami. Yeah. So like now here they are a couple months later, like trying to rope him back into everything. It's so weird.
I told you, clout chasers, man. They just want a little something. They're just looking to chase a little clout and then get their names out there a little bit more. And you're right, Elon's not really part of our thing. He's just been kind of playing with us too, man. He's been messing with our emotions this whole damn time. You guys know this?
Yeah, don't mess
Next thing
with
he's
our
gonna be talking
emotions.
about Shiba.
No, that's the coin that should no longer be named, I think.
Yeah.
You don't want to deter somebody away from making an investment, and you're up to everybody should make their own investments and do manage your own risk. But to me, I think the sheep had its chance. Now it's got to find the next one. So if you know the next sheep, let us know. Drop it in the chat.
I don't give a shit about all that.
Whoa. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, a ship. There you go. Well, good joke. That takes it for you then, there, Stash. I like when jokes win the day. So that does it. That's all the questions that I was given to ask you guys. So Stash, that means that you can leave us with some parting words today.
Oh my gosh, I'm the winner! Yeah, so I'm in agreement with some of the stuff we talked about here earlier. When it comes to these cycles, bear markets, bull markets, make sure that you guys are staying safe. Having a plan is important, whether the cycle is going to be longer or shorter. Understanding what that play is, and going with gaming assets and gaming focused NFTs and gaming focused projects can't hurt. There, like you said, we're not in a gaming bull market, bear market. That is a macro bull market if I've ever seen one. So invest in gaming stuff. Get out there and play.
I'll join you for the nerd thing just really quick. I too believe that gaming will bring blockchain and crypto absolutely more mainstream than we'll ever see. But that's that's my opinion. We'll see how it goes.
Brother Ruthless.
There we go. All right. Well, this was a great episode. I had a great time chatting with you guys. Remember, down in the description are links to all of their channels. Make sure that you go check out their stuff and subscribe if you have not done that already, because again, they work hard every single day to bring you the best crypto entertainment, edutainment, and information. All right. That'll do it for this episode of Around the Blockchain. We'll be back tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern. Until then, take care of one another. Have a good night.